Welcome back to the channel, to my thousands upon thousands of subscribers, all 10 of you as we speak. Today is a Star Wars show. Now this is coming from a point of view of me as a fan. I'm not a militant fan like some people. I controversially love all 9 Star Wars films. The Skywalker saga, that is. I like all of them, some more than others, but I don't hate them. I don't go on the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook or whatever and type hateful things about all these films. I love them all. They're entertainment. I see them as entertainment, so be nice with your comments. This is just a fun show from a fan. It's going to be music centric because I like film music, I like Star Wars music, I love John Williams, not in that way. So yeah, but I've done this show as a sort of a challenge thing like we've done in the past. So if you want to take part, do your own video, please do. It's always interesting to hear what other people have got to say. In this show we're going to do episodes 4, 5 and 6. The questions, I think there's only 6 or 7 of them, 6 maybe. I'll put in the thing below the thing. Still new to YouTube. The first question tonight, to get it started, is where did you first see episodes 4, 5 and 6? And when and how old were you? Well, I saw Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or just Star Wars when I saw it. When it was first released in the UK in 1978. I don't remember which month. I was 10 years old. Probably the perfect age to see Star Wars. And I saw it at the Odeon in Aldershot, down in the south of England. It was. I remember it was only on at the cinema for 2 weeks. And there was no booking or anything like that. There was smoking in the cinema. One side of the cinema was smoking, one side was non-smoking. That made no sense to me because the smoke just drifted everywhere. So yeah, I just remember long queues. I remember I thought it was fantastic. I can't remember the experience itself. It's so long ago now, but I'd been a fan without ever having seen the film for about 3-4 months before it came out. But yeah, that's where I saw episode 4. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, I saw on a cinema on London Road in Camberley, again in the south of England. Now this was in 1980, don't remember exactly when, but it was released in the UK in May 1980, I believe. There was no such thing as spoilers, there was no internet then, so I had no idea of the big reveal at the end, so it was just mind-blowing. For a 12-year-old kid like me. I do remember when I came out of the cinema though, I had a really bad headache. Don't know why, don't know whether it was just an intense experience in the film. Just remember I had a really bad headache, blown away by the fact that Darth Vader was Luke's father. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I was now 15 years old. Remember there were 3-year gaps between these films. And I saw it at the Studio 1 to 4 on Botchergate in Carlisle in the north of England in 1983. Again, you know, the Ewoks come in for a lot of flack from people. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I just remember my legs were like jelly when I came out from that film. The last half hour of Jedi was just wall-to-wall action, and I found it really intense in a really good way, and I just thought it was a great finish to the trilogy. But yeah, that's where, when, and how old were I seeing bad English, seeing the first 3 Star Wars films. Okay, question number 2. On how many formats do you own each film? A few. I used to have Laserdisc versions of the original trilogy, but I traded those in years ago. It's a shame. I wish I'd kept them. That was a really nice kind of box set. But presently, I still have VHS copies of the original trilogy. That was the THX release in widescreen. So they will be the original versions of Star Wars, but I don't have a video player anymore. I have the DVD release. That was fantastic when it came out. Star Wars with commentaries. Wow. And that had the Empire of Dreams documentary, which is fantastic. Obviously the Blu-rays, which came out in 2000, I can't remember, 2011, is that right? The best they'd ever looked at that point. Loads of great extras. And another commentary, an extra commentary on each film. And I have the 4K versions as well. Again, these are coming for a bit of flack for noise reduction and things like that, but I just think they look great. I'm not a technical person. I'm just a guy at home who loves Star Wars. I've got a fairly big screen TV, but to me, they look great. But make up your own mind. But I'm a Star Wars fan, so I've got them. Yeah, but as I say, I still wish I had the Laserdisc, those big 12-inch platters. But that's all the formats I have for those. Next up, number 3. How many versions of the soundtrack do you own? There'll be some crossover here with the John Williams challenge, but I'll try and limit it. If you've got loads of different versions, show them all. Happy to see everything. But I've stuck to for the time being to original soundtracks from the films. So for Star Wars, great preparation here. The first thing I ever got that had music from Star Wars on was The Story of Star Wars. That's been played to death. I'm amazed that it's in such good condition still. But yeah, that was great. First ever soundtrack on tape, Star Wars. For some reason it's got my name written on biro in it, just in case I forget who I am. But that was my first ever soundtrack, and I was crushingly disappointed when I first got that, because I thought this was the Meko, however you pronounce that, disco version, because for the longest time I thought that was the theme to Star Wars. Don't hate me, but that turned me around. I then got that version, which is lovely. LPs were great at the time, and I've shared the story about the Pickled Beetroot and The Empire Strikes Back LP. And the Return of the Jedi LP, which was originally going to be a double album, but then wasn't. But yeah. Later on in the years, when the special editions came out, I got the CDs, double CD. Again, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. For some reason I had to buy the original version of Return of the Jedi on CD to get the original song, Lapti Nek. I'm missing out this one though. This was a great set. This came out in '93, I believe, and I bought that in London. Again, that was the first time that extra stuff was released, so for a Star Wars music fan, this was a holy grail. It's still a great recording, and it's got one of the best booklets you'll ever see on Star Wars music, and some great little treasures in there as well. But I will always keep that, never get rid of it. Oh, Star Wars, why should I? I have got various re-recordings of Star Wars, but I've limited it to just the original versions. But yeah, that's my different versions of Star Wars soundtracks. Okay, number 4, or question number 4. What's your favourite overall track stroke cue, not song, because songs have words in them, from each film, but not including the main titles or end title suites? So for episode 4, I got into this thing of overthinking this, trying to think too hard. So what is my favourite cue? And I was going through the soundtrack, and then I thought, no. Your initial thought when you thought of this question was this track. So I went back to that, and it's the track that I go back to most of the time, and that's Ben Kenobi's death and TIE Fighter attack. Loved that since I was a kid. I loved the kind of the sad, mournful Ben's death music, which originally the Force theme was Ben's theme for the first Star Wars film. They kind of changed as the films went on, or repurposed, should I say. And then it goes into that punchy TIE Fighter attack, which still is great. When it's cropped up in later films, loved it. It cropped up in Return of the Jedi. It cropped up in The Last Jedi. Great stuff. But yeah, that's my favourite track from episode 4. Episode 5, I got into the same rut again of overthinking it. But you know, I didn't want to go for the obvious ones, so I did. So my choice for episode 5, I just think it's a storming piece of music. Is the Asteroid Field, not the concert version, the film version, which starts off with that urgent, violent version of the Imperial March. It goes into the slow build to the triumphant, kind of exuberant Asteroid Field chase music, which if you hear it in concert is just absolutely fantastic. But the film version, starting off with that Darth Vader Imperial March theme, going through the asteroid field, and then ending with a quote on the love theme, just a stupendous piece. And finally, episode 6. Now, going through episode 6, great score as always, but it's not. I don't think it's the strongest score of the 3 films, and it was difficult trying to find a piece of music. Well, it wasn't difficult, but it was slightly more difficult than the other 3. So again, I've gone for the obvious. I got to the stage that I'm not going to overthink this, and my favourite track from Return of the Jedi is the Sail Barge Assault, or Return of the Jedi as it was sometimes called on some previous releases. But again, this is just a perfectly formed little kind of piece of music. I would love to hear it performed more in concert, but I don't know why they don't. It's just made for concert. But you know, that boom, boom at the beginning, and it's kind of ruined now by Family Guy. Not ruined, but yeah. But it just covers so many callbacks to previous Star Wars films, and a fanfare, wonderful finish, just triumphant finish. Great piece of music. So they are my 3 favourite cues, tracks, not songs, from episodes 4, 5 and 6. Okay, number 5. Question number 5. Favourite musical moment or motif linked to a specific moment of action in each film. This must not be longer than a minute and must not be part of the previously selected favourite overall track stroke cue, not song. These questions are getting more convoluted, but they're my questions, so what the hell. So favourite musical moment. Again, I had to give this a little bit more thought, but for episode 4, I've gone for the Detention Block Ambush, which is a wonderful fanfare-like action cue, incorporating the Star Wars theme, and it's under a minute long, but as they're shooting out all the cameras and just causing chaos in the cell block, it's just a joyous piece of music. Fantastic. There's that word again, fantastic. Episode 5. Again, loads of great music here. I'm regretting, well, I'm not regretting, but if you ask me this question again in 10 minutes time, I'm going to change my mind on what it is. But I've gone for the beginning of the clash of lightsabers. It starts off with kind of ominous strings, and it leads into that swirling low brass kind of scary version of Darth Vader's theme, the Imperial March, as he pulls bits off the wall and throws them at Luke using the Force. This cropped up again in Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I just love that version of the Imperial March. Just really, really good. For episode 6, again, I had the same difficulty. Still a great score, but trying to find a specific moment was quite difficult. But I've gone for the one that I always remember giving me chills when I first saw the film in 1983, and it's when Luke's hiding in the shadows from Darth Vader during the lightsaber fight at the end, and Vader's trying to draw him out, and he gets out of Luke's mind the fact that he has a sister, and he's sister, and it's that moment where Luke's like, I've got to put a stop to this, and he comes out of the shadows, and they have their final duel, and it's just that music that comes up with the male voices. It's just absolutely chilling and final. This is it. But that always stood with me. It's not very long, very short again, as per the rules. So yeah, that's my 3 choices for favourite musical moment or motif. Blah 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 blah. That's all the rules. Yeah. And finally, question number 6. Favourite end title suite. Now, this is going to take a long time to fit this knot. Empire Strikes Back. Great. Begins with the love theme, goes into the Star Wars theme, Yoda's theme, great, adventurous, upbeat version of Yoda's theme. I went there because I don't know whether YouTube would kill me if I just played Yoda's theme. Great version of the Imperial March, and yeah, Empire is my favourite end title suite. Well, that's it for this one. I was just going to do the original trilogy, but it's my channel. I love these films. I love the music. So I'm probably going to do the prequel trilogy next, and then I'm going to do the sequel trilogy because, again, controversially, I enjoyed it. Great fun films, great music. I'm going to share it. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you what your choices are for music in the film, where you saw it first, how old you were. That was awfully said. So Retro Reels, Miss 80s, Daniel, Birdman, make a vid, and I'll see you next time. Good day. Hello, and blah 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 blah. So we're going to give it to Margaret to my first again. We're going to go to so about some good Star Wars stuff. We're going to go through me. I call that and the Rindens come on it with the paper and because school cinema yeah for good day.